There's a line in almost every mosquito video you'll find right now. Kill every mosquito. Guaranteed. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you what an actual university mosquito expert calls that promise. His exact words. And it isn't flattering. Then I'm going to show you the thing that really works. The old way. The one that costs you nothing, and the one none of those videos are selling, because there's nothing to sell. Stick with me. This one's worth it. Here's why this matters every single summer. You know the evening. You're finally sitting outside, and within 10 minutes you're slapping at your arm, your ankle, the back of your neck. So everybody goes back inside. The porch sits empty. The yard you spent money on, the one you like to sit in, you avoid it instead. And it's not just the itching. Mosquitoes carry real disease. That's not me trying to scare you. That's just true. And it's exactly why this isn't a small problem to shrug off. So people go looking for a fix. A lot of them buy a trap. The kind you've seen advertised. The kind these viral videos love to show off. Those traps run anywhere from $300 to $1,500. That's real money, before you've killed a single mosquito. And here's what nobody selling you that trap wants to say out loud. A lot of people buy one, set it up exactly like the instructions say, and still get bitten just as much as before. They figure they did something wrong. Wrong spot, wrong bait, wrong timing. So they try again. Move the trap. Buy a second one. Some people just give up and go through cans of spray instead, all summer long, breathing it in every time they want to sit outside. None of that should be the only choice you've got. And it isn't. There's an old answer to this. One that worked long before anybody was selling a trap at all. That's what we're covering today. Think about the last cookout or backyard evening you actually enjoyed without swatting every few minutes. If you have to think hard to remember one, that's exactly the problem we're fixing. Some people don't stop at one trap either. They buy a second, hoping two will finally do what one didn't. That's $600, $1,000, sometimes more. Chasing a result a 10-minute habit could have gotten them for free. And it's the kids who usually lose the most here. A yard that's supposed to be where they play after dinner turns into a place you rush them back inside from instead. Before anybody had a trap to sell, people still had to get through mosquito season somehow. And what they actually did wasn't buy anything. It was pay attention to water. My family didn't have pesticide trucks or plug-in traps growing up. What we had was a habit. Every few days, somebody checked anything around the property that could hold water. A rain barrel, a wash basin left out, a low spot in the yard after a storm. That habit wasn't about mosquitoes specifically, not at first. It was just tidiness, the kind you did because standing water sitting around your place looked neglected. Turns out that same habit was the whole fix. Here's the plain version of why. A mosquito doesn't start as a mosquito. It starts as an egg, laid in still water, and it needs that water for the next stage too. No standing water near your home. No next generation of mosquitoes born right where you live. That whole process, egg to biting adult, can happen in as little as a week in warm weather. Which is exactly why a bucket you forgot about on Monday can be producing mosquitoes by the following weekend. It's also why this was never a once-a-summer chore for the people who actually relied on it working. It was a standing habit, built into how they move through their own property, the same as checking on a garden or feeding livestock. That's the entire old-fashioned method. Not a trap, not a spray, just walking your own property every few days and taking away the one thing mosquitoes need to reproduce close to your house. It got forgotten for the same reason a lot of these old habits did. Once you could buy something instead, the walk around the yard felt like extra work nobody had time for. This isn't just family habit talking. The University of Florida's own extension service, the people whose entire job is studying this, put it plainly. Removing standing water is, in their words, the most important technique that homeowners can employ. Not one option among many. The most important one. That's the old way. And it's still the method actual mosquito researchers point back to first, before any trap, before any spray. I didn't grow up calling it pest control. Nobody in my family used that phrase. It was just part of keeping the place up, the same as sweeping a porch or mowing a yard. Nobody was thinking about mosquito biology. They just noticed that a tidy property, one without junk collecting rainwater, was a property with fewer bugs come evening. Compare that to today. A trap shows up in a box, you plug it in, and you're done thinking about it. or so the advertising promises. That convenience is real. What's not real is the promise that plugging something in replaces actually looking at your own yard. This is exactly the kind of thing that gets called old-fashioned like it's an insult, when really it just means it was figured out before there was something to sell you instead. Alright, let's get into exactly how to do this, and then let's talk honestly about what a trap can and can't do, because you deserve the full picture, not just the sales pitch. Start with the claim itself. A University of Florida entomologist named Jonathan Day studies exactly this for a living. Here's what he says about relying on a trap alone. Using a trap to control mosquitoes, in his words, is like trying to capture all the grains of sand on the beach. Here's why he says that. Depending on the species, a mosquito might fly only a few hundred feet from where it hatched, or it might travel miles. The University of Florida's own research puts the shorter range at around 500 feet and says other species go dozens of miles. Most of the mosquitoes biting you in your yard didn't hatch in your yard. They flew in from somewhere you don't own and can't control. A trap sitting on your patio can't reach that far upstream. So here's the part that actually is in your control. The mosquitoes that do hatch on your own property. Those, you can stop completely just by taking away the water they need. Walk your yard once a week. Look for anything holding water for more than a few days. An old tire, a tarp with a low spot, a clogged gutter, a kid's toy left in the rain, a saucer under a potted plant. Empty it or turn it over so it can't collect again. Takes maybe 10 minutes for an average yard. If you keep a rain barrel, that's a mosquito nursery unless you screen the top. A simple mesh screen over the opening lets you keep the water without breeding anything in it. A bird bath is worth calling out specifically because a lot of people have one and don't think twice about it. Dump it and refill it with fresh water every 3 to 4 days. That's often enough on its own to break the breeding cycle right there. Clogged gutters are one of the biggest offenders and one of the easiest to forget because you can't see the water sitting up there from the ground. Clear them out at least once each season mosquitoes are active where you live. Next, screens. A torn window screen or a door that doesn't seal is an open invitation. Patch it or replace it. This one's not glamorous, but it matters more than most people think. Don't overlook the small stuff, either. A kiddie pool left out, a wheelbarrow that collects a few inches after rain, even a bottle cap sitting in the wrong spot. It doesn't take much water or much time for mosquitoes to use it. A bottle cap's worth is genuinely enough for some species. Even a pet's water bowl left outside for days without a rinse can become a small breeding spot. Dump and refill it along with everything else on your weekly walk. Takes 10 seconds, and it's one more spot checked off. If you keep a compost pile or a garden bed, check that water actually drains through it instead of pooling on top after a heavy rain. A quick poke with a shovel to break up a low spot solves that in under a minute. When you do need something on your own skin, reach for a repellent with real, tested ingredients. DEET, picaridin, or oil of lemon eucalyptus. Those are the ones backed by actual research, not folklore. Apply it the right way too, since even a good repellent works less well applied wrong. Even coverage on exposed skin, reapplied after swimming or heavy sweating, following whatever the label says for how long it lasts. Skipping your ankles because you forgot is exactly how you still end up bitten there. If you're also wearing sunscreen that day, sunscreen goes on first, repellent second. Doing it backwards actually weakens both of them, which is the kind of small detail nobody tells you until it's too late to matter. For anyone spending real time outdoors, gardening, fishing, working in the yard for hours, treated clothing is worth knowing about too. Permethrin-treated fabric keeps working through several washes, which is a different tool than skin repellent, but a useful one for the people who need it most. Here's a genuinely useful old-timer fact most people don't know. Mosquitoes are weak flyers. A regular box fan running on a porch or patio can make it hard for them to hold a straight line toward you. Simple, cheap, and it actually holds up. Now, here's the part one want to be straight with you about, because this channel doesn't do it any other way. University of Florida's own extension service lists out the things that plain don't work. Bug zappers, eating garlic, vitamin B, or bananas, repellent bracelets and wristbands, ultrasonic gadgets and phone apps, little plastic dragonfly decoys. That bug zapper you've seen glowing blue in somebody's backyard. Studies on those found barely any of what they kill is actually mosquitoes. Mostly it's harmless moths and beetles that never bothered anybody. If you want more of these old fixes, the ones that tell you straight what actually holds up and what doesn't, that's the whole reason to subscribe to this channel. I'm not selling you a trap. Now, does any of this mean a trap is completely useless? No, and I want to be fair here too. If your yard has its own nearby breeding site and the species biting you doesn't range far, a trap really can make a dent. The honest answer is just that you don't know that going in. That's exactly what the university's own expert was warning people about. Put it all together, and here's your real method. Clear standing water on your own property every week. Screen what you can't empty. Fix your screens. Use a real repellent when you're out in it. That's the old way, and it costs you nothing but 10 minutes a week. Let's cover what you're probably wondering, because I don't like leaving the obvious questions hanging. What if my neighbor's yard is full of standing water and mine isn't? Then you're still better off than you would be otherwise, but you won't get to zero on your own. Pair source reduction with a real repellent when you're outside, and consider a polite word with that neighbor if you know them. Half the mosquitoes gone is still half. Do citronella candles actually help? A little, and only in still air. The second there's any breeze, which is most evenings, the effect mostly disappears. Nice for atmosphere. Don't count on it as your real defense. What about mosquito-repelling plants, the ones sold at garden centers? University of Florida lists these plainly among the methods that don't hold up under real testing. Nice plants, not a mosquito fix. Are natural oils and diffusers a real substitute for DEET or picaridin? Not by the research. Some offer a little short-term relief, but nowhere near the tested repellents. If you genuinely can't use DEET, oil of lemon eucalyptus is the one natural option that's actually backed by real testing. How often do I really need to walk my yard checking for water? Once a week is enough for most spots. Bird baths specifically, every 3 to 4 days, since that's roughly how fast a mosquito can go from egg to biting adult in the right conditions. I don't have a yard. I'm in an apartment. Does any of this even apply to me? Yes, just smaller scale. A saucer under a balcony plant, a clogged gutter outside your window, a neglected planter. Same principle, 5 minutes instead of 10. Is DEET actually safe around kids and pets? Used as labeled, yes, it's one of the most studied repellents there is. Follow the concentration guidance for children on the label, and you're using exactly what health authorities recommend, not guessing. Is this actually about more than just being annoying? Are the diseases real? Yes, that part isn't exaggerated for the video. It's the actual reason public health agencies spend real money on mosquito control every single year, not just a scary line to keep you watching. If I still want to buy a trap after all this, what should I look for? Know your situation first. If you consistently see mosquitoes right at dusk near a specific damp corner of your yard, that's a sign of a local breeding site a trap might actually help with. If they show up everywhere, all evening, a trap alone won't fix that, no matter how expensive it is. Why does it feel so much worse after it rains? Because you just created fresh breeding water in every low spot, tarp, and forgotten container on the property, all at once. That's exactly when your weekly walk-around matters most, right after a storm, not just once a month. Why do mosquitoes seem so much worse right at dusk? Most common species are most active at dawn and dusk specifically, not throughout the day. If you're planning an evening outside, that's exactly when your repellent and your fan matter most, not an afterthought once you're already being bitten. Does what I wear actually make a difference? Loose, lighter-colored clothing genuinely helps, partly because it covers more skin and partly because mosquitoes key in on dark colors and body heat more easily. It's not a complete fix on its own, but it stacks with everything else here. What if I have standing water I genuinely can't get rid of, like a pond or a low drainage area? For water you can't drain, there are larvicide products, sometimes called mosquito dunks, that target the larvae specifically without harming pets or people. That's a reasonable middle step between doing nothing and trying to eliminate water that's simply part of your property. How long before I actually notice fewer mosquitoes around my own house? Give it one full breeding cycle, so about a week to 10 days of staying consistent, before you judge whether it's working. Mosquitoes already flying around when you start won't vanish overnight, but the ones that would have hatched on your own property next week simply won't. Do I need to know exactly what species is biting me for any of this to work? No, and that's actually good news. Source reduction and screens work regardless of species, since you're removing what any of them need to breed close to home. Knowing your species only matters if you're deciding whether a commercial trap is worth the money, which is exactly the decision most of those viral videos skip past entirely. How long does mosquito season actually last where I live? That varies a lot by region, running just a few warm months up north to nearly year-round in parts of the Gulf Coast and Florida. Either way, the habit doesn't change, just how many months you're keeping it up. Let's talk about how this fits your specific place. If you've got a big property, you're not walking every square foot each week, and you don't need to. Focus on what's near the house first: the porch, the patio, anywhere you actually sit. That's where it matters most for your own evenings. If you're somewhere dry, the desert Southwest for instance, you likely have less of a mosquito problem to begin with, since they need that standing water to get started at all. Your job here is mostly just staying that way. If you're in the humid Southeast or along the Gulf Coast, water collects fast and everywhere, so this becomes a weekly habit worth actually keeping, not a once-a-summer chore. Camping, or RVNG. Check your own gear specifically. A tarp with a low spot, an upside-down bucket that fills with rain, a cooler lid holding water. Small setups breed mosquitoes just as easily as a yard does. Renting, with limited control over the property. Handle what's actually yours, patch your own screens, empty anything on your own balcony or patio, and lean a little harder on a real repellent for the parts you can't control. And if you've watched our other videos on this channel, a box fan is already doing double duty for you. The same fan that helps pull heat out of a room with a wet towel also helps keep weak flying mosquitoes off your porch. One tool, two old fixes. If you're doing this walk around for an older parent or relative rather than just yourself, it's worth doing it with them the first few times. Show them exactly what you're looking for, so it becomes their habit too, not just a favor you do once and forget. Do this consistently, and the difference isn't dramatic on day one. It's the whole rest of the summer where you actually get your evenings back outside. If you're near the coast, add one more thing to your weekly check. Salt marsh species can travel further than most, so a clean yard helps, but a good repellent for evenings still earns its place even after you've done everything else right. If you just moved into a new place, spend one afternoon early in the season walking the whole property before mosquitoes are even a problem yet. You'll find the low spots, the old buckets, the gutter that never quite drains before they've had a chance to become a habit you have to break. And mark it somewhere you'll actually see it. Right when the weather turns warm each year is when this habit needs to restart, not sometime in the middle of summer after you've already been bitten for weeks. So here's what actually matters, if you remember nothing else. A trap that promises to kill every mosquito is, in a university entomologist's own words, like trying to capture all the grains of sand on the beach. That's not me being harsh. That's the actual expert. What genuinely works, according to that same university's own research, is taking away the standing water on your own property. Their words again, the most important technique homeowners can employ, not the most expensive one, the most important one. Before mosquito season really gets going where you are, do 3 things now. Walk your yard once this week and empty anything holding water. Screen your rain barrel if you keep one. And check your own window and door screens for tears while you're at it. 10 minutes a week, done consistently, is the whole difference between fighting this all summer long and mostly not thinking about it at all. That's the old way. Still works. If you want more of these old fixes, told to you straight, including when the popular version everybody's selling doesn't hold up, subscribe. That's the whole channel. And tell me something specific in the comments. What's the one spot on your own property you just realized might be holding water right now? I'll be reading through what people say, and I mean that, not just saying it to sound nice.